We love getting new products in at Nostalgic. Seems a bit counterintuitive being a retro game store and getting new product in from distributors. But some of the coolest stuff in the retro gaming scene is currently being produced by third-party companies and indie developers. One of those awesome products is the Evercade. The Evercade Versus is a new dual cartridge console from Blaze Entertainment that is just way cooler than we expected. Adam has had the original Evercade handheld for quite a while and loves that thing. So when one of our main distributors started carrying the Evercade Versus home console, we had to grab some to sell in our store. Before we get into it, we are not sponsored by Evercade in any way, and we did not receive this item for free. We purchased these consoles wholesale to sell in our store, Nostalgic Video Games. We were super excited to be able to get items from Evercade through our distributor, and we want to test these products and make sure they hold up to our standards, as well as show off all of the awesome new items we get in to help you guys make the most informed decisions when deciding what to spend your hard-earned money on. Initially, the main appeal of the Evercade is the multi-game cross-console cartridges. The same cartridges you buy for the Versus console will work on the handheld. Awesome. And every one of these cartridges has multiple games. Evercade releases collections based around developers. The Versus comes with 2 pack-in cartridges, the Data East collection and the Technos collection, both being compilation cartridges with multiple games from their respective developers. If you want to see Adam play through a handful of the games on these carts, check out our recent live stream. More streams on the Evercade Versus are to come, so stay tuned for those. There are tons of other games available from Evercade, which we were also able to get in at Nostalgic. Blue for arcade classics, and red for console classics, spanning from the Atari, NES, Genesis, all the way through the PS1, all of which are officially licensed. They're also getting games from newer developers like Pico and Megacat Studios. Some of these games would cost hundreds to thousands of dollars to hunt down all individually, not to mention they would all be on different consoles. This way, you get them all on one cartridge for $20 to $25. This is such an awesome concept, and the fact that these cartridges can be played on every Evercade system is just fantastic. Let us know in the comments what collection you would like to see from Evercade next. The console itself has that retro appliance feel to it, with a color scheme reminiscent of the original Famicom. The construction is great and feels sturdy. Similar to Hyperkin, Evercade has done a great job at making their consoles feel premium and high quality, and not just like a plastic box with a motherboard in it. The Versus has 4 USB ports on the front for you to use with the 2 included controllers, or alternatively, if you have the original handheld, you can use that as a controller as well. Along the back is a micro USB for power, an HDMI out, and a reset button. It's a bit of a bummer that there's no wall adapter for the micro USB or an HDMI included, but that seems to be more and more common with products nowadays. The power button is located at the front right of the console, and, when powered on, a light bar along the front of the console lights up and cycles between different colors. Sweet! The console has an opening hatch, similar to the NES, which reveals 2 slots for cartridges. You can plug any 2 cartridges in and have all of their respective games appear in the Evercade menu. Awesome! The 2 included USB controllers are great, with a nice D-pad, 4 action buttons, start, select, menu, and 4 shoulder buttons. These are really solid retro-style controllers with modern sensibilities and button layouts with really solid construction. They are also completely mappable, which brings me to my favorite part about this system, its UI. The Evercade Versus has a huge, customizable, and beautifully intuitive UI system. It is somewhat similar to the Retron 5s, with the settings and saves as well as customizable filters with scan lines and other standard options. However, this menu feels so much more thought out and comprehensive. The graphics are simple, understandable, and not quite as overwhelming as the Retron 5s. I love that system, but sometimes I kinda just wanna hop into a game. It can be kind of daunting to get the settings right and figure out all the nuances of the Retron 5's menu. The Versus also features built-in bezels, backdrops, and themes that you can choose from. One of the coolest things is since all of these cartridges are made specifically for this console, each one loads up with box art, a synopsis, player count, genre, and controls. Just select the cartridge tab and all of the games on the cartridges you have inserted will appear. Select the one you want to play, and all of that information is immediately at your fingertips. Now this is quality of life. On top of that, Each of these games starts up effortlessly and play great as to be expected. But easily the coolest part of this console is this tab right here, the Game of the Month. Each month, exclusively for the Evercade Versus, a new Game of the Month will be dropped, which you can play completely free. All of these are new indie-developed titles. This one is called Tapeworm Disco Puzzle, and it is legitimately fun. I've spent more time playing this than any of the physical cartridge games we have for the system. And this one didn't even cost a dime. This is such a cool feature and gets new retro-style indie-developed games out in front of tons of new people who may never have heard of them otherwise. I know I wouldn't have played Tapeworm Disco Party of my own volition, but drop a free game in my lap and I'll for sure give it a try. Now I'm just gonna have to buy this game after the free month is up. Currently, Evercade has 9 more games scheduled to be released under the Game of the Month, so there's a lot more to come, and I hope they keep it up. Overall, the Evercade Versus has completely blown me away. The handheld was pretty neat, but it seemed more like a proof of concept. The Versus is on a totally different level. This is a complete experience with some of the best quality of life I've seen in a third-party retro console to date. My only real gripe is the lack of an outlet adapter and HDMI cable. But those are pretty minor qualms in the grand scheme of things. I cannot wait to see what new collections, games of the month, and features Evercade has in store. All of us here at Nostalgic are officially along for the ride. If you're as interested as we are, make sure to subscribe and stick with us to see all the cool new products we get in store. We'll see you next time.